Hey guys, and welcome to PJ's Coin Capers. So today we're going to have a look at some half pennies. Now I don't have heaps of half pennies, but today I had the opportunity to go through them and just have a look at some of the dates. And what I'm trying to do is actually learn a little bit more about our pre-decimal coins. So I'm starting to look at the mintages and sort of the different varieties of each coin and how you determine whether or not a coin is minted in various places around the world, depending on its on the mark that each mint puts on it. So yeah, there's coins here from India that were minted in India, London, Sydney, Melbourne, Birmingham, so all over the place. And but what I did was I went through all my half pennies, which I don't have many, as I said, but I've got a sort of a small bag full. That's about the bulk of what I've got. So and I just went and pulled out some of the interesting ones that I thought I'd just sort of share with you guys. Nothing of real super value or anything like that, but just stuff that's sort of interested me today as I've gone through them. So I sort of looked at the mintages and I sort of looked at the values of the coins. So that's what sort of determined what I've picked out. So starting with I found three from 1914. Now each of these three have a H underneath the scroll. So underneath the word penny there is a little scroll, and it's got a little H there. So I'll try and just zoom in just to sort of show you that H. And there you can see that little H there. And so I found that I had three of those. So this one's in fairly poor condition, but it does have a little slight H there. So those ones there being from 1914. Now, what does the H mean? H, H, H. It's must be, it says Ralph Heaton Birmingham. So it must be a couple of different ones that are minted in Birmingham, because there's also a B mint mark, but not for this particular coin. But there's an L mint mark and a H mint mark, and the H mint mark for this particular coin is the lower of the two mintages at 1.2 million, so fairly low mintage on it. So I was quite pleased to find a few of these, so I'll put them aside. Now I thought this was pretty interesting, and I'm only showing you this one because there is a mule for this particular coin. I don't own one, but this is the coin that does have a mule, and there is a photo in this book, and I'll show you that in a moment. But this is the 1916, and you'll see there it's got a little I underneath the scroll. So that one there is from India, and it just says India. So there is a C for Calcutta for different coins, but this particular one for 2016, actually, not sure. Now I'm sort of reading things a little bit differently. The I under the scroll, no, I'm not sure. It's technically got the mint saying C next to it, so maybe it is from Calcutta, which is in India. Anyway, it's got an I underneath it, but maybe they're minted in Calcutta. I'm learning. So anyway, so this particular one has a mule, but not these ones. But I'll show you just the difference in the book, and if you do happen to come across one, they're worth an absolute packet. But you'll see in the background now, I've got a photo of what that coin that is muled looks like. So the obverse has George the Fifth, King, and Emperor written on it, and you'll see there that we have the same looking coin as what's on that side. But if we have a look on the flip side, this is the Australian version of the coin, and we've got the additional details: VDG Brit, OMN, and Rex, and the FD end IMP, so Imperial. So this particular one is not a mule. If it had this background on it, that would be a mule. So I probably haven't explained that properly, but the dollar values of those things, if I move some coins I've got down here, you'll see even in the lowest grade is worth 45,000, and then the dollar values just keep climbing, 135, and there's no recorded sales for anything higher than very fine. So yeah, I thought that was interesting, and that's what I was talking about down the bottom there. It says 1916, it's got a C for mint, but it's got an I under the scroll, so I'm assuming that they're it's made in India. So yeah, it's just something interesting. So I haven't found a mule, but I do have a couple of 1916s, and those have a mintage of 3.6 million. So the next one of interest that I found also today is a 1918. That also has an I under it, which means that it was minted in Kolkata. And the mintage on this one was 1.44 million. So, but this one has a fairly has a better pricing guide, but this one's in fairly bad condition, as you can see there. So really not worth anything. This was one I pulled out, which I was glad to find. And what else we got? We got here a 1924. Now let me tell you about the 1924. So this is a Melbourne minted coin. Not too bad a condition. You can see that it's got a bit of wear, but not too bad a coin. So this one here, 681,000. So not many. I was happy to find that one. I don't think, that's probably the third lowest minted. So the 1923 I don't own, but that one is estimated mintage of 15,000. So the 1923 is certainly the one that everyone wants to own, but this is a 24, and they certainly didn't make many in 1924. All right, moving right along. I've kept the 1925 out, but that's a mintage of 1.1 million. So it's another low one as well. And so I've just sort of kept out the lower mintage ones and the ones that have a little bit of interest. These three that I found are all 1930s halfpennies. If they were the 1930 penny, they would be worth a heck of a lot. But the 1930 penny is also is also a low mintage coin. So the 1930 was 638,000. So these ones aren't in too bad a nick, especially this one I'm holding closer to the camera. You can see the pearls and the diamonds a little bit better on the crown, on the base of the crown, and that's usually what helps to show the wear of the coins. So as you look at these ones here, actually even though this one's not a very good coin, looks like it's possibly even got like a coin cancer or something to it. You can see the pearls quite nicely. So I was quite happy to find 3 of those, considering just how low a mintage they are. Now the next one we have is the 1931 halfpenny. Now this one's been banged around a bit. We can see a bang on the bottom and a bang on the top there. And just trying to see, can't see any mint mark on that. Now the 1931 is a very low mintage, only 396,000. So yeah, it's not too bad a coin, this one. I mean, yeah, it does have a ding on the side of it, but for that lower mintage, I was very happy to find one. So yeah, that's a good one to find. Now the last one isn't necessarily low mintage. I found it very interesting, and I was quite happy to find it. Now this is the 1939 halfpenny. Now if we look at the other side of this, they've all got King George the Sixth on the back of these. Now the interesting part about the 1939 is, now I'll show you in the book here as well, but the 1939, I'll zoom out a bit and I might zoom back in shortly, but the 1939, they've got 2, if I can just move this up a bit, we'll see on the bottom of the page here, we've got 1939 M, and we've got 4.67 million. Okay, so that's these ones here. Now this one here, during some part of that year, I'm not sure, I haven't read the history on it, we've got, they swapped over to the Kangaroo Pennies. Okay, so we've got these ones. They've both got King George the Sixth on the back, as you can see there. I'll just pop this one down for a tick. Alright, so you can see there, we've both got the same king, but they changed the design at some stage through that year. So this one here, what did I say? 4.6 million. Now if we flip the page over, I'll have to show you on the other side of the page. So it does say in the bottom of the book here, 1939 halfpennies were struck with 2 different reverse designs. The existing C of A reverse, so Commonwealth of Australia, reverse was replaced with the kangaroo type. Okay, so I was quite happy to find a kangaroo type. So the kangaroo type, I might have to hold the camera for a moment. There it is, the kangaroo type. Now this has a mintage, the other one was at 4 point something, 4.6 maybe. This particular one, so the kangaroo, top line there is 782,000. So while it's not as low as what we had for the 1931, it's roughly double what we had for the 31. This one being a lower mintage as well, does hold some value in good grades. Unfortunately, this is not a good grade. Has some wear and tear, but still a good one to find and to hold on to. And yeah, I thought it was worthwhile keeping aside. I hope you've enjoyed just starting to look at halfpennies and pennies, and if you have some halfpennies, it'd be well worth going through them, and I'm sure that you'll certainly start to learn a lot more once you start looking into each of these coins. So hope you've enjoyed this look at them today, and I look forward to bringing another video to you soon. Alright guys, thanks for watching.